the state money coming to the municipalities?
Well, some of the money from the stimulus bill, I think was your initial question, is coming through existing lines, existing tranches from the federal government. And it is coming out. It's coming out in different tranches. So you were referring to a meeting at the Selectmen in Hull, and I'm not particularly sure what they were referring to, but I know that Hull is in line for some money. Some of the tranches they did not qualify for because of the way it was set up, but there is some special education in Title I money that's coming out and has come out. I think things have been slow, but it is a grant process, so you have to put paperwork in and then get the money back. And Hull is not unique. Whatever problems may be here or across the rest of the country, but we're doing our best to work with our federal counterparts.
Okay, so you think Hull will eventually get some of that money?
Oh, sure will. I know exactly what the numbers are. I don't have them in front of me, obviously, but I do know they're in line for certain sums, and that money will be forthcoming.
Do you know what in particular it will be coming for?
They're getting special education bump, which was one of the education stimulus money. They're getting Title I, which is the distressed community. They're getting some funds in that area. The other area of money, which was some direct educational money, they do not qualify for it because the governor's office has used it to shore up foundation, and Hull was already at foundation. The more a community spends, the more it gets from the state. Hull had already, and Cohasset had already reached those marks. Hingham hadn't, that's why it saw a bump. Braintree hadn't, it saw a bump. But Cohasset and Duxbury and just for some of the areas, towns in this area, had already been at foundation.
I understand that there is something that you're going to be presenting a bill maybe next week or so, particularly like Hull, how it doesn't have an industrial area, and for the schools.
Yeah, the way the educational formula is set up, there's about 27 subparts to it. But what we've been able to understand, and there was a briefing from the Department of Education last year, it talks about the fact that there's a floor for where communities can get some additional funding. Everybody gets 17.5%, but if there are certain factors that are met, if you're at more of certain areas or less of something, you get additional funding. Hull is right at that cusp of 17.5. So what we had said, and one of the main reasons is, and the selectmen I think are looking at it, one of the main reasons is it's based on property taxes and income, so you have high waterfront property values, but you also have low income. So the town can bifurcate that and charge more for those on the water for taxes than, which are mostly out-of-towners in some instances, than non-waterfront. It has chosen not to do that, and I respect that. So what we've decided, and to try to correct that, is any community that has less than 5% commercial tax base, but also has 20% of children on free and reduced lunch, gets an additional allotment per pupil. It's going to be tough. It costs a lot, but we filed the bill to change the formula, to change one of those 27 factors to have that factor there, which we think will be an addition. We know will be an additional increase to Hull.
Is that next week?
It's been introduced. Every bill that's filed has a formal hearing. Formal hearings next Tuesday, I believe, at 1 o'clock. Testimony can be emailed to me at the statehouse through mass.gov, and I'll present it to the committee.
What, you think the chances are going to be tough of getting it passed?
I think it is, because it's $1. It's $350 per pupil additional, and any dollar increase in this day and age is going to be very difficult.